Well, California, it's always interesting because it's here that happens the big changes that then come throughout the world. And so I was very curious to understand what was going on in energy. And I was here 6 years ago in a very similar trip in the same places and not with the same people, but on the same issues. And things that really changed fastly. Things are really completely different between 6 years ago. Now, California is really seeing it from Europe, very far away from us, and very fastly changing in a direction which Europe was ahead 6 years ago. And it's been really an interesting experience comparing it to Italy and to the possibilities that now are opened in innovation in energy. One example, I went 6 years ago. I went to speak at Stanford. I went to Google, and I didn't went to Tesla because Tesla wasn't there. And when I spoke at Stanford, they spoke about energy efficiency scenarios, but nothing was really so close to be a field of innovation that was possible. It was speaking about the future of energy. And Google was working hardly on Google and inventing Google. And there was no Tesla because nobody was really practicing the innovation on storage and electric car. They were all speaking on this in Europe and in the United States. Only these three examples let you understand how much things went forward and how much things now are possible because of the innovation that are happening on the grid, on the local grid, on storage and on energy production. The numbers that you reached in California, we reached in Italy, and we're reaching in Europe are simply fantastic, and they were impossible 6 years ago. Well, I have a particular point of view even in this tour, because my perspective is the one of an NGO, an environmental NGO. So what has changed in Europe and even in Italy in these years is the fact that the answer to the problem that we have in energy are not only big answers, big plants, big lines, big solutions, great scenarios, and big actors that have to change the world. What we realize in these years is that you need even the big grid and big solutions and important scenario, ambitious scenario for renewables, but you even need a vision of this future that is linked to people, to the demand side, to the possibilities that you have to create plants and renewables at local level with the resources that you have. Not only huge plants, but even the plant that you need in where people live. And this has been possible in Italy, in some parts of Italy, and some parts of Europe, and it's getting forward. But we miss something. This something is the innovation that it's linked to the digitalization, that it's linked to internet, that it's linked to plants that can be connected to an innovative grid, that it's electrical and thermal grid, and electric cars. This is the future, and here in California you have a lot of the pieces of the future that we need, and we need to put together the beginning of the future that we built in Europe already, and the beginning of the future that we looked at in these weeks, because all together they really can be a different model of producing energy and consuming energy in the future. And it's important because it's not only for us, we are the rich part of the world, but it's a real possibilities for who in the world doesn't have petrol and so doesn't have possibilities to have development or can't afford to buy it.